A Royal Caribbean cruise ship captain, beloved by many, has sadly passed away. I'll give you the update on this developing situation. Plus, this morning, I received an email promising unlimited cruising through the end of the year for just $900. What kind of voodoo is going on there? And I'm looking to talk to you. I'd like to hear your stories about things that have gone down on cruises that you think other people might want to know about. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. I'm your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Welcome back once again for another installment of Here's Your Cruise News. Some interesting things going on the docket today. Let's kick things off, though, with one that's actually going to get you involved. As online content moves into 2023, one of the largest mediums that's not really being used is the long-form spoken word. And to distill that down into something that we all understand, I'm talking about podcasts. That's right. Midships is breaking into the podcast space, and it's going to be a fun one. Unlike so many others who just involve themselves or maybe a guest or two, this one revolves entirely around you, your experiences, your stories. The show, it's going to be known as Cruise Confessionals, and I think you know where this is going. It's not going to be quite as serious or maybe wholesome as the Midships channel is. No, because this one involves things that go down on cruise ships that, well, maybe a lot of people don't always talk about. But I'm asking you to share with me some of your most exciting, sensational, maybe even a little bit cheeky experiences that have gone down on cruises. Names will be changed to protect the innocent. This is going to be a fun time. If you'd like to get involved and share some of your cruise confessionals with me, please go ahead and reach out to me with a quick email to podcast@midshipscruise.com. Once again, that's podcast@midshipscruise.com. You should definitely reach out there. Don't go sending me like an entire essay, though. A few sentences, maybe a paragraph or two, will suffice to just introduce me to your cruise confessional. Now let's roll right into today's cruise news. Did you know that there's a cruise line with a ship homeported in Port Canaveral, Florida, that you as an American citizen, a U.S. citizen out of a U.S. port, you can't cruise on this ship? Don't believe me? Try booking a cruise aboard Marella Discovery. Let me know exactly what you come upon. Now, of course, I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here. You actually can book a cruise on the Marella Discovery, but it's going to be difficult because Marella is going to require you to pay not just for the cruise, but also for round-trip airfare from the UK, specifically London Gatwick Airport, one that I'm very familiar with as I just flew out of there a few days ago. So basically, this takes what would be a several $100 cruise and turns it into a several $1,000 cruise for anybody based here in the United States. This is a really interesting story, and shout out to cruisehive.com for picking up on this one. It's a really strange situation going on here in Port Canaveral, a cruise ship that Americans are going to have a really hard time getting on board. Now, I'm one of those people that if you tell me I can't do something, well, gosh darn it, I'm going to certainly try. I'm really going to try to get on board this ship any way I can. As a matter of fact, I actually reached out to Marella Cruises on Instagram. And if you could do me a favor, if you're on Instagram too, maybe you could just look them up and send them a direct message. Let them know, hey, Midships Cruise, Captain Corey is looking to sail on board your ship in Florida, but he's having a hard time. Could you reach out to him and help him get booked? Let's see what we can do here, Midships fam. Now, moving along, we have, unfortunately, a sad story coming out from Royal Caribbean as a beloved captain from the cruise line has tragically passed away. Cruise Radio and Royal Caribbean CEO Michael Bailey shared the news that Captain Ron Holmes passed away peacefully with his wife and family dog by his side. Now, Captain Ron, in his career with Royal Caribbean, had the pleasure of serving aboard several ships, the first of which was the Nordic Empress. Additional ships that you may have had the pleasure of sailing with Captain Ron include the Majesty, Freedom, Radiance, and Allure of the Seas. And no doubt many of you out there in the Midships family did have that pleasure of cruising on a ship with Captain Ron Holmes. My condolences go out to his family, friends, and loved ones in this difficult time. We'll keep you posted if any additional news comes out surrounding this sad story. Let's keep the cruise news moving. When I woke up this morning, I did what I normally do. Brewed coffee, put on my robe and comfy slippers, and started looking at my emails. And I was surprised to find one that listed something called the Ultimate Paradise Pass, claiming that for $899, I could cruise an unlimited amount of times for the rest of 2023. And needless to say, I was a little bit suspect of this unlimited cruising through December 31st of this year offer. For starters, $900 sounds like a very, very cheap barrier to entry for that. And for somebody that lives in Florida, that's a pretty enticing offer. So I clicked the link, and it took me to Margaritaville at Sea's ad for what they list as a limitless paradise for $899. And let me tell you what I found out about this program. If you don't know, Margaritaville at Sea Paradise took over for a little company called Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, the little cruise line that could. They used to operate 2 ships out of West Palm Beach, Florida, and they're still there. Well, one of them. Following the global cruise shutdown, they've rebranded, sold off a ship, and they have just one ship right now, the 1991-built Grand Classica, a former Costa cruise ship. Yeah, she's repainted, astroturfed, and operating short 2-night cruises to Grand Bahama. That's Freeport, if you don't know. It's not everybody's favorite port. It's pretty industrial. This is essentially almost a ferry service. Some have likened it to. It's definitely an older ship, but the food in the main dining room, I can tell you, is pretty solid. The entertainment also. Now, it sounds like Margaritaville at Sea has plans for you to cruise a lot more often. So let's talk about this unlimited Paradise Pass. This pass is valid for the rest of the year for cruises that happen on non-consecutive 2-night sailings. So that means if you cruise tonight and tomorrow, you've got to take off the following 2 days before you can cruise again. Now, the other thing that's cool about this, it's okay for double occupancy. So you and your significant other are welcome under just one pass. But here's the rub, because you knew there was going to be a rub, right? The pass does not include taxes, fees, port expenses, gratuities, fuel surcharges, onboard expenses, or booking fees. And those come up to be at least $114 per person before gratuities. Now, $114 for a 2-night cruise, it's not the worst deal you've ever had. Now, the other thing here is you're not allowed to book on this pass until 72 hours before departure. The cool thing is they'll give you the best available cabin, inside or ocean view, but you're not going to know what that cabin is until you check in at the terminal. Not that that really matters because you're only going to be there 2 days and you can just rebook again in 4 days if you don't like the room. As of now, it looks like Margaritaville has sold almost 70 of the 500 available passes that they opened up earlier today. So people are picking up on this. In my experience, there's actually folks who live on Grand Bahama, like I said, who use this ship as a ferry service to get back and forth between the U.S. and the Bahamas. So for a person like that, this pass makes a whole lot of sense. Let me know your thoughts on this unlimited Paradise Pass holder program. Man, that's a lot of P's. Somehow I got through them on the first try. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, what you think about this. Probably not going to be buying it myself, but never say never. And speaking of never saying never, why don't you say yes to the Midships group cruise? It all goes down June 11th of this year out of Miami, Florida. We're calling it the Midships Miami Nights Cruise. It heads down to Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Mahogany Bay. Some really great destinations. If you'd like more information, check out the Facebook link in the description directly below this video. Hey, it was great seeing you today. Please make sure you get subscribed. You don't want to miss some really cool cruise updates, news, fun things like you got today. As always, the best way to tell me that you love cruising as much as I do is by smashing that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. And until next time, we'll see ya on the Midships. I am so excited to have gotten a chance to reveal the Cruise Confessionals podcast to you. It's something I've been working on behind the scenes for several months now, actually since before the Vloggers Cruise, when podcasting became all the thing for cruise content creators. Please make sure you reach out to me with your Cruise Confessional story, podcast at midshipscruise.com. It's your support that's going to make that all possible. Thanks so much. We'll see you again tomorrow.